Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm just going to show you an installation video of inner and outer tie rods. I already did the lower ball joints because yeah, it's kind of a big thing and I just wanted to get them done. I did both sides. I did the inner and outer tie rod on the passenger side, and I already took off the old tie rod on the driver's side, so let's just get into it. First off, if you haven't really had experience with tie rods, this is the inner tie rod with the jam nut. This is the outer tie rod that you spin right on this. It comes with either a castle nut and cotter pin or just a lock nut, which mine did. Here is the dust boot that goes over this once you installed the inner tie rod, and there's like a little indent right here where this sits, as you can see, and then you just put your little fasteners to fasten it. It will protect dust and stuff from getting into this joint, which you can see it's loaded up with grease. Then you will see this locking washer, which you put like this, and these little tabs stick towards the rack of pinion. And then once you finally have your car dialed in, you could take a hammer or whatnot, a little chisel or punch, and wrap them over the sides of it, kind of like the old one. As you can see, what's left of it, that's not all rusty and stuff. It's punched over to the side. The little tabs are broken off this. It was in really bad shape. That's what's left of the dust boot. This joint where the dust boot is moves freely when it's supposed to be pretty stiff. It's all rusty. And then the outer tie rod, the boot is completely broken. Dust, dirt, and grime is getting into the boot where it's supposed to be covered. The grease is exposed, and yeah, it's moving like really floppy, so it's not supposed to. But anyway, this is the cotter pin style. As you can see, there's like a little hole with the castle nut. And then this one without the hole is a lock washer style, which is over here. Got these from 1A Auto. They're not the best, not the worst, but they're really good customer service. I got another pair of inner tie rods and outer just for spares for whenever I have to do this again. The outer tie rods are the ones that go bad more frequently than the inners, but hey, I messed up this thread when I was trying to install it on the passenger side with a hammer, so be careful with that. I contacted 1A Auto and they sent me a free outer tie rod for the hassle, which is awesome. And all I had to do was email them, say, hey, my threads are messed up. Can you send me a new one? They said, yeah. So I would like to thank 1A Auto. For the fasteners for the dust boot, they include a small zip tie for this side and a longer skinny one for this one. And if you use the old clamp right here, along with that little zip tie, and then you use that long zip tie that's skinny for right here, and if you have regular fat zip ties, so you can like have double security. So I'm gonna get out there and show you what's up. First thing before we go outside, there is two ways you can adjust your tie rods. If you know you want your alignment to be pretty close, you could just put it together like this, and when you take out the old one, you keep it all like the outer tie rod connected how it was, and then you can just put them side by side comparison and have them basically the same measurements, so your alignment won't be too messed up. And then take up some vice grips on here on your outer tie rod, and then just tighten this jam nut with an adjustable wrench. So, and then these are just some Craftsman's Cobalt, whatever, name drop, right? I know. Or the other way you can do this is you loosen up your jam nut and then you just spin this and take it off, and then you count your turns. So 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. So you get the idea. I didn't really actually take this off. I'm just going to toss it. One thing you might want to do is take off this clip and save it for your new install. So let's get outside now. Alright, so here we are at the suspension of the car. I don't know if I showed you guys this, but I cleaned up the brake caliper, kind of just sprayed it silver, high heat paint, and then here is the lower ball joints. Again, this one does not use the castle nut, just a locking nut, and I installed that in on the other side. But when you're looking at this, you're going to want to turn your wheel or hub this way so you can get to your rack pinion steering. And I took it out, as you can see, and there's 2 little notches right there, and you want to make sure those little tabs that's on your thing goes right in there, because it kind of locks it in place. So if you have your tie rod all together, all you got to do, it's hard to do with one hand, let me set you guys down. So basically all you're going to want to do is take it and put it in there and spin it. Make sure your knuckle and everything's out the way. It's kind of hard because I keep hitting where the outer sway bar or the outer tie rod connects to the actual suspension. So it might be a little tough, but a little finesse and you'll get it. And you just keep turning it, and I'll show you what's up.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky.
Alright, in the last clip you saw me jack it up right here because I had to reattach the sway bar link, which I got to torque down and tighten, and the tie rod is in. Just got to put the nut on there and tighten it down and torque it. But can you see something that's wrong? Forgot this again, like last time, and this is how I damaged the threads last time. So if you do this and forget the boot, don't hit the nut. Trust me, that's how I messed it up. And don't screw a nut on there and then hit that, because that will definitely damage it. So try to hit like right here. You know, it might take a while and it might not work that great, but trust me. Alright guys, so everything's buttoned up. I torqued down this nut for the outer tie rod, 30 foot-pounds. You can go, I think it's like 22 to 31 foot-pounds, somewhere around there. Just, I did 30. Connected to the sway bar, and everything's buttoned up. Here's another look at that caliper. So everything's good, and next I got to get my upper control arms because my bushings are shot, and then I can get my alignment and the car will be drivable again. And then next after that will be energy suspension and coilovers, and then the suspension will be done for right now, and then there's going to be other installs, so stay tuned.